Here's a question. What is the first word that comes to your mind when you think of spirituality? A lot of us think of mysticism, magic, miracles, repeating numbers, or manifestation, synchronicities. But if you notice, there's a common theme. All of this talks about mystical fluff. But I think spirituality is 90% psychology and only 10% the mystical fluff. Here's why. We want to experience the mysticism. We want to read divine signals from the universe using repeated numbers or symbols. And of course, we love the manifestation and synchronicities aspect of it because we feel a connection through all of those experiences with the universe, with the world around us. And we also feel devoted to something that is beyond us and beyond our ordinary lives. But what we don't realize is when we fixate on that 10%, we attract boredom and stagnation. That even these experiences just last temporarily. They are just momentary and they come and then they go. And 2 days later, you are at the grocery aisle wondering, why is my mind messed up again with negative thoughts? But at the same time, there is also the other extreme, which is becoming extremely skeptical of the 10% of everything that our mind cannot comprehend. To get stuck in science and what logic dictates, or just following any buzzworthy scientific study or research article because it's the new trend. When we blindly just stick to this one narrative, we don't really keep ourselves open to other possibilities in our life. And it's also not about parroting scriptures and being able to talk intelligently about it. And it's actually truly understanding how much does it apply in my own life. To discern, is it true in my life? Can I see if it is true? Before you accept it or make it into a subconscious ego-driven desire to show how much you know. And no disrespect to either of these sources. I mean, they are great and they are valuable data points. But that's all they are. They are just data points. And spirituality means not getting stuck in either extremes. And true openness is constant. It's new every moment. It's something that you have to apply every moment. It's to really take interest in seeing. So you're not getting lost in thoughts, you're not getting lost in judgments, and you're not really getting lost in either extremes, and you're really open to seeing what is life trying to show me. And that openness is what leads to the 10%. And slowly you start shifting that balance from 90% psychology to probably less psychology now and more of the mysticism. But first, you have to do the job of maintaining your mental hygiene. You have to do the job of doing the inner work to really see where your attachments lie. And you're not trying to forcibly grab the magical fluff, whether it's manifestation or whatever, because of this idea you have about it. And slowly, the scale starts shifting towards a more happy and more fulfilling life where you're able to experience the magic around you more deeply. And you have to keep doing it constantly so you can keep getting a taste of the bliss. Without really considering any of that, you tend to go down the wrong rabbit hole instead of going down the right one. So the answer is not jump to conclude something, but to really keep asking ourselves the question, is this belief rooted in openness? And that will direct us to a life that is more aligned, that is more wholesome, and that is less stuck in suffering. Because at the end of the day, spirituality is only meant to alleviate your suffering. No matter what spiritual technique you subscribe to, no matter whether you subscribe to spirituality or not, all we are looking for is a way to get out of suffering. All we are looking for is a way to be pain-free and to be happy. But pain is as much a part of life as is pleasure. And so spirituality is learning to accept both sides of the coin like yin and yang. And that's when you start taking the baby steps towards a full life. So spirituality is majority learning to manage your own mind and learning to understand it deeply, how it operates, the tendencies, the patterns, the attachments you have, the cravings and aversions you get, that is likes or dislikes towards certain things in your life, and how all of those attachments, your identity attachments, the personality you have adopted after everything you've gone through, how does that hold you back from living life fully, from being present fully in this moment? So spirituality is majority understanding your own psyche, your psychology so deeply that you're no longer entangled in it. Because the thing is, mind is not just a programming, it's an intelligent, alive function that is teaching you all the tendencies, habits, your beliefs, the negativity, everything that you keep getting lost in. And it is a function designed to get you out of it, to go beyond it. And that is what spirituality is. To learn about this design of the mind and to be able to go beyond it, to discover that you are never the thoughts, that you are actually something that is deeper than the thoughts, something that's always been there and that's deeper than the thoughts. And to not really just understand this conceptually, but to really experience it every single moment, because therein lies the magic, and that is the source of the mysticism. Everything you learn about spirituality can be turned into distraction by the mind, into entertainment, just something to pass the time with, and another way to keep you in the illusion that you are your thoughts, when the truth is that you're not, which only leads to more suffering and keeps you away from that full potential and full life that you know you can be living today. And a lot of the times you will find that a lot of spiritual people love hearing from spiritual masters and spiritual gurus, but the reality of it is that deep down we're just using those talks as something to be entertained by, something to feel the good vibes, and most of the times we don't realize that it's just distraction by the mind. Only 1% of these people will let the message of the masters sink in deeply, to really let something deep inside of them shift by understanding that you're not really the mind, and none of the myriad thoughts that you get on a day-to-day basis, whether they are of a mystical nature, magical nature, or whether they are of a skeptical nature, you are the one that is witnessing them. But can you realize this fact every single moment? Can you become aware to that fact every single moment of every day? And that's when you start becoming really curious. Wait a second, who am I really? Who are you really? And that question leads you to a deep silence within. Sit with it until you receive the answer. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.